Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Salesforce real-time scenario series. Today we are going to discuss to the another real-time scenario on the flows. So we can calculate and display the duration in the days, hours, minutes between to the start date and time and end date and time. So how we are going to calculate and how we are going to display the duration between these two dates. End user will give it to the start and end date times. Based on that, we can calculate and display the duration between these two dates in the format of the days, hours, minutes. Let's see how we are going to implement this one. Before going to that, first I will show you the output. So here we are going to give it by the start date and end date. I'm added by the this one into the case record. Okay, I will show you that is also. So here we are going to give it by the start date and I'm going to give it by the end date 4th and here some time is the 6 p.m. Let's click on the calculate 2 days 0 hours 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes is the difference. So for example, if you are going to give it by the 5:30, so one day, 23 hours, 50 minutes is the difference between these two start and end date times. End date times. Okay, let's see how we are going to implement this one in the flows. Okay. So for the calculation purpose, I'm going to take it by the auto launched flow with the no trigger one. Okay, then this one we can call it into the main flow. This one we can call it to the main flow. Why? Because means we click onto the button, then only we need to calculate it. From this button, we can call it by the our auto launched flow, no trigger one. So that's why. So first of all, go to the flows. So click on new flow. So I'm going to select by the record triggered flows, auto launched flows in this auto launched flow, no trigger one. Okay, auto launched flow, no trigger one. So here I'm going to take it by this some formula fields and some inputs purpose, new resources. So here I'm going to take it by the one variable first. This is the we are going to hold for the start daytime, start daytime. So this is the date and time I'm taking by the available for input. Why? Because means we are passing to from the main flow to this flow. Main flow to this flow. That's why I'm going to take it for the available for input. At the same time, I'm going to take it by the one more variable for the end date and time. This is also with date and time format. This is also with available for input. Now in our hand is the start and end date times. Okay. Now, first of all, we need to calculate it by the total minutes between these two. Total minutes between these two. Why? Because means we need to display by the minutes, hours, and days. So first of all, we need to calculate it by the total minutes first. Okay, so here that's why I'm going to take it by the one formula. Here formula total minutes. Okay, we are going to take it by the here total minutes. Okay. So this is the number format. I'm going to take it by the decimal point 0. We can round up by the here. So here we can calculate by the start date and time difference, right? So we have to the first of all end date minus start date. Okay, now we are going to multiply this one to the 24 hours per day, right? So that's why here we have to the calculate into the 24 hours per day into the per minute is the 60, right? So 60 minutes. Okay, per hour is the 60 minutes, 24 into 60. Now it is written by the total total number of the minutes it will return. Just check syntax. Let's done this. After that, we need to calculate it by the days. Okay, how many days for that? So now in our hand is the total minutes. Again, one more formula. I'm going to take it by the here. Formula. So here we have the days. This is also with the number data type. So here 0. So we can calculate it for the total days. For this, we can round up purpose. We can take it by the floor. So here in our hand is the total minutes. Total minutes by per day, right? Day wise, we are going to calculate. So here by into 24 hours into 60 minutes. Total minutes per day calculation. This is just check syntax. Total number of minutes by into 24 hours into 60 minutes. Okay, we are calculating by this one. This is the written by the days. How many days? After that, so we need to calculate it by the next is the hours. So let's come to the here. One more formula for hours. So here we are going to calculate it by the hours. Okay. How many hours? This is also by the number data type. We are going to take it by the 0. So this is also for the floor, and we can mod if any decimals is coming. So we can mod off total number of minutes. Okay. Total number of minutes, comma. So per day is the 24 hours into 60 minutes. Okay. So here by we can calculate it by the 60 minutes. This is we are going to calculate the hours, right? How many hours per hour is the 60, right? Per day is the 24 into 60 and per hour is the 60. By we are going to take it by this one. Okay. So this is the floor mod of our total number of minutes here 24 into 60 by 60 is the per hour. This is written by the hours based. Up to here we can written by the earlier one is the days. Now we can get it by hour, right? By 60 is the per hour. Okay. So now let's done this. And final one is the formula for the minutes. So we are going to calculate it for the minutes. So this is also with the number 0. So here we can just mod off. So total number of hours by per hour is the 60 minutes, right? Total minutes by. So here 60. We are going to mod off the 60. Okay, it is written by the how many minutes. Okay, it is calculated by the how many minutes. So these are all we are calculations. First, we are calculated by the how many total minutes. Total minutes. This is written. After that, how many days? It is written by the how many days. 24 hours into 60 seconds, right? That's why we are given by the here this one. Per hour means 24 hours into 60 by per hour is the 60, right? So that's why we are given by the 60 for this. Total minutes is the per minute is the 60, right? Total hours by total minutes by 60. Now finally we need to display this data, right? This purpose we are going to take it by the one assignment. Okay, assign to this set result. So here we are going to take it by the one resource. So here this is the variable where result. So this is the text type. We are going to take it by the text type. So here equals to, we can give it by the, so hours first, right? Sorry, days. So we can give it by the days first, right? Days space days. So same like we can give it by the formula for hours space hours space again formula minutes. We are taking the minutes, right? So space minutes. Okay, these are the formulas. These formulas I'm adding by the here. Okay, this is the days, hours, minutes will be the return. Let's save this up to here. Calculate time auto launched flow. This one, right? Auto launch flow. I'm giving by this one naming conversion. Okay, let's save. Let's run this temporarily testing purpose here. So auto launch to flow, right? It will, we need to automatically run this one. Okay. Set result, right? Let's so take it by the activate. So for debugging, we can check it by the end date and time, start date and time, end date and time, start date and time. Let's run this. See here, result, we can see the 1 day, 0 hours, 0 minutes. What we are giving the data, right? Based on that, it will return by the data calculating. Debugging again. So here I am going to give it by the 4. So here 6 p.m. Okay, let's run this. Let's see, the variable was updated 2 days, 0, 9 minutes is the difference. What we are given by the inputs, right? Start and end date details is the start date is the 51, right? And 69 now 9 minutes is the difference, right? 9 minutes. And 2 days, 0 hours. Okay. So now come to the main flow, come to the click on the new flow. So end user will give it by the start and date time, right? Actually here we are debugging by the here, but end user want to enter by the start and end date time. So that's why I'm going to create by the one screen flow. In the screen flow, we are going to take it by the one screen flow. Calculate time difference. Okay, time difference, calculate by the time difference. So here I'm going to take it by the date time field. This is the start date time. This is the required. I'm going to make it. And one more, I'm going to take it by the here. This is for the end date time. This is also with required. So side by side, we have to display. That's why I'm going to take it by the one section. So here added by the 2 column. That's why I'm click on the add column. So here, this one here, start and end date time. Now we can take it by the button. So action button. So calculate So here we are created, right, one flow now. Calculate time auto launched flow. Just now we are created this flow. This is the our flow name, right? So you can call it by that flow. So now in this flow, it is accepted by the 2 parameters, end date time, start date time. We are taking the 2 variables here. So two variables we are taken start and end time. At the time creation, I am taken by the inputs, right? That's why it is asking available for input. Then you can check this checkbox. Then only the appear by the here. Otherwise, it will not be the appear. So now I'm going to pass it by the end user. What is entered by the end date and time field here? This is for the start date and time field. Now result, right? This result we need to display, right? Display this result we need to display. That purpose display text. Here I am taking so API name I'm not given, so that is the problem. Now coming to the display result. So result, I'm going to make it as the bold this one, and after we need to display the result, right? So time different this one, then result. We are assigning the one field, I think so. We are not given by the that one for the output. That's why it's not appear. This is I'm not given output for the result. This is the not appear. That's why. Let's done. Activate new version. Save. Activate this. Let's come to the here. I'm deleting this one. Up to now, what we have done, that is we can save it first. Calculate time difference flow. Now we can come to the here display text. Display result. So here auto launched flow. Now it is appear by the result, right? I think page is not refresh. We can refresh by the page. So now we can add it by the display text. Display result. So we can make it as the bold. So now calculate result. Now it is appear now where result. Now we are make it as this one output, right? This is the output. That's why here appear by the this one. Okay. So let's calculate result variable where result. This is the appear. So I don't want to display by the finish button, pass buttons. So that's why I'm coming to the here, configure by the footer, hide finish button, hide pass button. Okay, I'm going to give it by the hide both things. Let's done. Let's save. So before activating, we can debug by this one, debug. So start and end. I'm giving. So one day, 0 hours, same hours, right? That's why. If I'm going to take it by this one, I'm going to take it by the 6:15. So 1 hour, 23 hours, 43 minutes difference. Okay. So if we are taking by the here also 6:15. So 2 days, 0 hours, 0 minutes. So like this, we can calculate it to the difference between the start and end date time fields. Okay. So finally, we are going to activate this. So end user can able to access to this flow, right? As for the my requirement, they are adding to the in the case object. They can calculate it by the this thing. So that's why in the case object record page I'm adding. If you want, you can take it by the one lightning app page, then you can add it by the, that also be the fine. Okay. So let's go to the any one of the case. Edit page. So now I'm going to add it by the flow. So calculate date and time difference. This one I'm going to add it, save. So activate. So we send to the default app. I'm going to give it by the our sales application. Save. Let's back to the now. So let's go to the sales application. So sales application, go to the cases. Go to the cases. Let's go to the any one of the case. Something issue is coming here. Let me check it. Email template now. Why we are coming by the email template here? Let's edit by the here. I think different thing is added here. Okay, let me add it by the calculate date and time. Let's save. Okay, now back to the here. Flow is the added different flow. That's why getting an error. Now I'm added by the our flow. Now it is up here, right? So now I'm going to give it by the time is the 5 p.m. Now I'm going to give it by the 6 p.m. Let's calculate. So 3 days, 1 hour, 0 minutes. Okay. 1 hour is it is the 5 p.m. This is 6 p.m. right? 1 hour and 3 days, right? So that is the 3 days. If you give it by the something 6:30. So 3 days, 1 hour, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Okay. So like this, we can able to calculate the time difference between to the two due dates, and also how to call it by the auto launch to flow from the button, one particular button, how to call it by the auto launch to flow, and how to pass it to the inputs, and how to pass it to the result, the back to the flow. Okay, these are all we are discussed in this flow. I hope it's clear how it was implemented. Stay tuned for the more real-time scenarios. Thank you.